Good evening, everyone. I heard a little birdie tell me that this month is Disability Pride Month. So I wrote something. I'm writing a lot of what I do my videos on right now because I am trying to not make as many videos right now to spend more time with my husband and our dog. Our dog is still dying. We're just taking it day by day and enjoying the time we have left with her. But I did take the time to make a video for this because I feel like disability pride is so important, not just because it hits me personally, but because I know people who it's hit, because this deserves to be talked about, especially with what's happening with this administration purposely targeting people who are disabled. So I'm going to read you what I wrote. July is Disability Pride Month, and then this year's theme is one that honestly hit me right in the heart. The world works better with us. I don't think people realize just how powerful those 6 words are. Because if you're disabled, chances are you've spent at least part of your life feeling like the exact opposite. Like you're too much, too expensive, too difficult, too broken, too slow, too needy. Like you're holding everyone around you back. I know that feeling because I've lived it. Long before I became physically disabled, I was already fighting battles most people couldn't see. I was diagnosed with mental illness as a child. Today, I live with autism, ADHD, OCD, complex PTSD, anxiety, depression, insomnia, and night terrors. I grew up believing that something was fundamentally wrong with me because I processed the world differently. Then in 2022, my body changed almost overnight. One day I was making plans for my future. The next, I was trying to figure out why I suddenly couldn't walk without excruciating pain. Since then, it's been surgeries, procedures, specialists, physical therapy, countless medications, mobility aids. Days where simply standing long enough to cook dinner feels like climbing Mount Everest. People see the walker, they see me moving slower, they see the accommodations, but they don't see what disability actually costs. They don't see the dreams I've had to grieve, the career I lost, the independence I lost, the friendships that disappeared because I couldn't keep up, the people who decided I was suddenly a burden. The nights I cried because I felt guilty that the person I love has become one of my caregivers. I've had people tell me I'm holding Connor back, that I'm ruining his future, that he deserves someone healthier, as if disability somehow makes me less worthy of love. But here's what they don't understand. Connor has chosen me every single day, not because he has to, but because he loves me. Disability doesn't erase our worth. It doesn't erase our ability to love or be loved. It doesn't erase our humanity. And that's exactly why Disability Pride Month matters. It's not about pretending disability is fun. I would never tell you chronic pain is something to celebrate. I would never tell someone to celebrate PTSD or depression or losing your independence. That's not what pride means. Pride means refusing to be ashamed of existing. Pride means saying, my disability is part of me, but it's still not all of me. It means rejecting the lie that our value is determined by how productive we are. Because here's something a lot of people don't realize. More than 1 in 4 adults in the U.S., over 70 million people, live with a disability. Disability is the largest minority community in America, and the only minority that literally anyone can become a part of at any point in their life. One accident, one illness, one diagnosis, one birthday. That's all it takes. And disability doesn't always look the way people expect. Some disabilities are visible. Others are completely invisible. Chronic pain, autism, ADHD, PTSD, learning disabilities, chronic illnesses, autoimmune diseases, mental illnesses. Just because you can't see someone's disability doesn't mean they aren't fighting one every single day. And I love this year's theme because it's true. The world works better with us. Think about how many things everyone benefits from because disabled people fought for accessibility. Wheelchair ramps, curb cuts, automatic doors, closed captions, voice to text, audiobooks, accessible bathrooms, flexible work accommodations. Those weren't created out of convenience. They were created because disabled people demanded equal access. And now millions of non disabled people use them every single day. Accessibility helps everyone. Now, I want to tell you about the disability pride flag because every color has a meaning. I didn't even know all the meanings until I looked it up a couple years ago. Red represents physical disabilities, gold represents neurodiversity and intellectual or cognitive disabilities, white represents invisible and undiagnosed disabilities, blue represents psychiatric disabilities, green represents sensory disabilities. The black background honors disabled people who have died due to illness, violence, neglect, institutionalization, suicide, and ableism. And those diagonal stripes, they represent breaking through barriers that society has placed in front of us. I think that's beautiful because every disabled person I know spends their life breaking barriers. Sometimes those barriers are physical, sometimes they're financial, sometimes they're medical, sometimes they're the assumptions people make before we've opened our mouths. So this Disability Pride Month, please don't pity us. Listen to us, include us, hire us, believe us. Make spaces accessible before we have to ask. Recognize that disabled people don't need fixing nearly as much as society needs fixing. Because disability isn't a flaw in humanity, it's part of humanity. To my fellow disabled friends and family, whether your disability is visible or invisible, whether you use a wheelchair, a cane, a walker, hearing aids, a service dog, whether your disability is physical, mental, neurological, chronic, or something no one else can see, you belong here. Your life has value. Your voice matters. And despite everything society has tried to tell us, we are not burdens. We are not broken. We're human beings, and this world truly works better with us. Happy Disability Pride Month.